being of pure energy with no weakness! A-X-O-L-O-T-L! My time has come to burn! I invoke the ancient power that I may return!
Bill Cipher feels unstoppable. Throughout Gravity Falls, Bill is presented as the top of the hierarchy, the final boss, almost like a god, the one being who fears nothing. But there's a problem with that, because in the finale, in the one moment where Bill is about to be erased, he begs out for help, and he calls only one name. You're right to think Bill is powerful, and that he stands above almost everything in the universe. But if you want to understand why even someone like Bill submits instantly the moment he needs help, then we need to talk about the only being that could make even Bill Cipher himself desperate, the Axolotl. Bill Cipher is portrayed as a godlike being. Throughout Gravity Falls, Bill never looks afraid. Until one moment. Because what if there is a higher form? Someone above even Bill himself. Someone Bill understands well enough to actually fear. That being is the Axolotl. The Axolotl exists outside normal dimensional rules, outside time and the multiverse itself. While Bill bends reality inside universes, the Axolotl stands outside the entire structure. And here's the key difference. Bill never mocks the Axolotl. When Bill calls out during his defeat, he doesn't threaten, he begs. That tone shift is critical. Bill understands that the Axolotl's power is far beyond his own, and the only time we see genuine desperation from him is when invoking the Axolotl. That suggests something important. Bill knows exactly how powerful the Axolotl is, and if there is one thing Bill Cipher truly fears, it's something he cannot control and cannot overpower. The Axolotl isn't just stronger, he represents authority over Bill's existence itself. Bill fears the Axolotl, and that alone tells us that there is one being that can give even the almost all-powerful Bill Cipher goosebumps. Bill Cipher doesn't respect almost anyone. He mocks powerful creatures. He laughs at cosmic rules. But there are only two beings he ever speaks of with anything resembling recognition. Time Baby, and what he calls the big frilly know-it-all, also known as the Axolotl. In Journal 3, Bill refers to these two specifically. That already sets them apart, but Bill actually kills Time Baby like it's nothing. Time Baby is extremely powerful, yet Bill kills him without effort. That moment proves something important. Bill isn't intimidated by powerful beings. He only respects those who are actually above him. Now compare that to the Axolotl. Bill never even tries to overpower the Axolotl. Instead, when facing destruction, he invokes his name in desperation. Bill cannot even attempt to challenge the Axolotl. Because the Axolotl exists outside the structure, Bill manipulates entirely. Bill eliminates threats he can surpass. He only begs beings he cannot. And the fact that Bill kills Time Baby, but submits to the Axolotl reveals the cosmic hierarchy clearly. When Bill Cipher is finally defeated in Gravity Falls, something unexpected happens. For the first time in the entire series, Bill needs help, and he calls only one name. As Bill is being erased inside Stan's mind, he makes weird glitchy noise. But when that noise is reversed, it clearly shows us a hidden message. Where Bill is invoking the Axolotl. That moment is critical. Bill understands power hierarchies better than anyone. He knows exactly who he can beat and who he cannot. He calls the Axolotl. Why? Because Bill knows that if there is any being capable of preventing his total erasure, it is the one that exists outside the multiverse itself. This is not random desperation. This is calculated hierarchy awareness. And Bill, who never submits to anyone, submits in the very moment he needs help. Bill fears death. There's one entity in the Gravity Falls cosmology that Bill Cipher truly acknowledges as superior, and that entity is the Axolotl. If we want to understand the hierarchy between Bill Cipher and the axolotl, we shouldn't just look at Bill's fear. We should look at how the axolotl describes Bill. In Dipper and Mabel and The Curse of the Time Pirate's Treasure, Dipper and Mabel encounter the axolotl directly. When asked about Bill Cipher, the axolotl responds with a poem, 60 degrees that come in threes, watches from within birch trees, saw his own dimension burn, misses home and can't return, says he's happy, he's a liar. Blame the arson for the fire. If he wants to shirk the blame, he'll have to invoke my name. One way to absolve his crime, a different form, a different time. This poem does several things at once. First, it shows what Bill is like on a deep level. Second, it establishes authority. If he wants to shirk the blame, he'll have to invoke my name. That line makes something explicit. Bill cannot escape consequence on his own. He requires permission from something higher. The axolotl speaks about Bill as something beneath its jurisdiction, as a being whose survival and redemption are conditional for his name. Bill cannot redefine his fate without invoking the axolotl. That tells us the axolotl is something like an actual god in the Gravity Falls universe, when Bill is just a fraud, and when a being like Bill Cipher must call out to another for permission to continue existing. That is fear. Up until now, we've seen Bill invoke the axolotl, but in the book of Bill, we actually get the full conversation between them. The book describes what happens the moment Bill is destroyed. On the day Bill Cipher died, he used a trick he never tried, a desperation plea, some panicked prayers to meet the frilly guy upstairs. That wording matters. Desperate. For a being who mocks everything, that is a total tonal shift. In a tank outside of space, the opposites met face to face. That tells the axolotl is outside of Bill's influence, outside of space. And then Bill speaks. Look, from one god to another. Who cares? I tried to kill those brothers. They're all ants, it's all a game. Let's press restart and try again. I'm too cool and fun to die. Just give me one more try. Bill is full on begging, and the axolotl responds. You cannot regrow through denial. You'll have to face my hardest trial. Then you may yet live again. Bill is given a second chance, but only if he faces the hardest trial. Bill Cipher recognizes the axolotl as superior. The axolotl decides whether Bill lives, and the axolotl lets Bill live only if he completes his trial. If the axolotl truly wanted to destroy Bill, he could have erased him permanently. Instead, it chose something else, something far worse, at least for someone like Bill Cipher. The axolotl places Bill into the theraprism, mandatory therapy. Bill isn't being tortured, he's being forced to confront himself. And that is the one thing Bill has avoided his entire existence. For someone whose entire personality is built around avoiding guilt and reframing destruction as liberation, this is absolute humiliation. Bill Cipher sees himself as a god. Now he's sitting in group therapy because a higher being judged him, denied existing freely. This is a big humiliation for Bill Cipher, almost unbearable. The axolotl doesn't let Bill die. He reduces him from a cosmic terrorist to a therapy patient. Only someone truly superior can punish Bill in a way he cannot counter. For Bill Cipher, the theraprism is terrifying because it represents something Bill cannot dominate: growth. The axolotl didn't just overpower Bill, it imposed the one trial Bill fears more than erasure, facing himself. For most of the series, Bill Cipher feels untouchable, but as it turns out, he isn't. There is something higher than Bill, something eternal, something outside the universe. The axolotl. The axolotl decides whether Bill gets to exist. Bill laughs at powerful beings, but when facing erasure, he prays. And that's the difference. An authority that even Bill Cipher cannot override. And if there is anything capable of giving goosebumps to the one being who fears nothing, it's the axolotl. And that's why, in the entire Gravity Falls universe, there's only one being Bill Cipher truly fears. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any videos coming in the future.